Well, good morning, guys. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to another trading session here. Yesterday we had some big news. We had FOMC. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend the FOMC and the New York PM session. I did some trades here at the New York AM session, but honestly, I started in the wrong hand of the market. I was not in the right side of the market. So started with a short, got stopped out with a loss. And then eventually I tried another short. I was a bit discomfortable taking this short, honestly, and I closed it before getting into a loss. Then eventually I longed the market when I realized that, okay, we will probably look for previous day high and eventually some relative equal highs that we had formed on the day before. So I longed the market, got stopped out at break even here when the market pulled back, and then I longed once again. This was my last try. Took some partials here and closed the full position here, right on spot. Well, then we had FOMC, and FOMC did a great job. It did a great job, honestly. If I would have waited for a setup, I would probably have taken a long somewhere here, and eventually carried that long until previous day high. I don't know, but that's just me speculating and talking in hindsight. But it was a very good price action on FOMC. I usually wait the first 30 minutes and then I'll look where liquidity is still, and that would be my play for yesterday's FOMC. But let's talk about today. Well, today we will have 10 a.m. news, so I will probably not engage with the market before 10 a.m. news. I could do so, but honestly, I got stopped out many times already trying to look for something before news. Eventually, price does what I want to see, but I got stopped out due to volatility and eventually some kind of manual intervention from news. But what would I like to see for today? Well, honestly, I'm kind of bearish. I think I'm still bearish. Yeah, we had a major fall during after a London session. We had a major fall. We were above this 1 hour fair value gap, but we kind of inverted it. So we inverted it, we retested it, and now we are digging lower. I'm expecting probably previous day low, and as the first target, I'm expecting FOMC lows, which are still intact as well. We have some liquidity here as well, and honestly, the perfect scenario would be a purge with 9:30 open, would be a purge of these relative equal highs here, another retest of this bullish fair value gap here, and then a move to the downside. But I don't know if the market has the strength right now to do so. So I will just observe and we will see. Right now we already opened. Yeah, we got the open right now. So 9:30 open, we opened right here. 9:30 open. Oh, okay. Sound is too low. What about now? Yeah, just let me check the volume here. Well, on OBS, it's perfect. I don't know. Can you hear me now? I will try to raise my voice a little bit. I hope that's better now. Yeah, but as I was saying, I'm expecting FOMC lows and eventually previous day low. We are already digging into it, so we might reach it in the next few minutes. But honestly, what I would like to see is a purge of these relative equal highs first, and then a dump to previous day low. So you're saying that's still very low. Okay, let me just check it here. So let me just raise it a bit more. What about now? Can you hear me now? Is it better? I hope the sound is better now. Well, let's see if the market goes above these relative equal highs and purge them, and eventually we might return. We left, as you can see, we left those relative equal high lows intact. We left sell side liquidity as FOMC lows intact as well. We left previous day low intact as well, so price is now digging higher as I was expecting to see. We will probably form our first presented for value gap as well, so I will note it. Yeah, this might be our first presented for value gap here. We will be inverting this for value gap as well, probably. So I will note this as an inverted one as well. Let's see what we will do here at the 8:30 open. Note that we are way below midnight open. So we are in a major discount area. That's why I would like to see price digging higher. At least here, at least two relative equal highs here before taking any kind of position. Yeah, you're welcome, Gorilla. I didn't notice that the volume was too low. Thank you for noticing and saying something. I hope that's better now. Well, so far we stopped below 8:30 open. But we left these relative equal lows here, which for me it's kind of suspicious. But as I said before, I will probably not engage before 10 a.m. news. If price comes down or eventually comes up before and does purge and everything that it has to do before 10 a.m. news, well, I will just let it do what it wants to do, not engage with it, because I got too many times already trying to go ahead and use, and that's why I don't like to open positions before news. You will long at first for value gap, at the first presented for value gap. Well, that's still valid because you will have these relative equal highs as draw. But I would probably take these relative equal highs as your main target. We kind of have some relative equal highs here as well, which are kind of suspicious too. But I would not try to take them as my draw before we take FOMC lows at least. I don't believe that we will go straight above, straight to the upside before taking FOMC lows at least. So far we are working here the 8:30 open. $8:30 open is offering some kind of a resistance here. We managed to invert this for value gap here, the bearish one. We might retest it once again and probably retest the first presented for value gap as well. So NQ left is doing an identical job here. We already took buy side liquidity on NQ. And this minor buy side liquidity here on NQ is already taken. So it made a bigger move to the upside here. We still have yeah, let me just check here. Was it 2 a.m., 2 p.m.? Yeah. Well, NQ already took FOMC lows. Yeah. But we still have some liquidity right below those FOMC lows. We still have previous day low, and we have a lot of liquidity below that consolidation from the 18th. So I would like to see price dig lower and purge everyone who's still a buyer and who is still praying for the stop losses not to get hit. So let's see. In short term, I would like to see something like this. It would be acceptable for price to come back to the first presented for value gap and then displace to the upside and eventually do something like this. First, these relative equal highs here and then dig lower with displacement and do something like this. That's what I'm expecting eventually. Well, it seems like ES is waiting for the 10 a.m. news. It's kind of boring right now. So nothing to do besides waiting. NQ is still pushing higher, I think. Let me just check the 1 minute. Yeah, it's kind of pushing to the upside, but not with a major signal of strength right now. Yeah, it seems like ES will push to the upside right now, trying to purge these relative equal highs. And then we will wait and see what 10 a.m. news will bring us. We have 2 minutes before the 15-minute candle closes. So it will close probably in a engulfing candle, engulfing this swing low here. There we go. We have relative equal highs taken here. If price just keeps riding higher and higher, I will just let it run and probably do nothing because it's not what I was expecting from price. So Gorilla, did you catch any longs, or probably not, right? Price didn't give you the entry that you wanted, right? At the first presented for value gap. Let me just reset my camera. Yeah, this camera is still bothering me with this kind of bug that I don't know how to fix it, but honestly, I don't even care. Yeah, you're still watching, yeah. Yeah, that's a good choice, Gorilla, because right now, if you if you try to engage with longs, that's kind of dangerous because we took relative equal highs. It was our primary draw on longs, and the next draw would be here. And if price runs to the upside and goes directly through all of this and goes to those relative equal highs, well, I don't even care. I will not engage with it. Because for that to happen, I would like to see some kind of purge of these relative equal lows here. And it didn't happen, honestly. Not here on ES and not on NQ. Let's see, price is still digging higher and higher, which is kind of suspicious too. It might be enticing for some kind of beginner traders to see, okay, the market just opened and it's on foolish bull mode, so I will just long it wherever the price is. And usually as soon as we hit the news or something like that, price could displace to the downside with a lot of strength. So that's why I don't like to mess with markets that are pushing higher and higher and higher, just like this. Yeah, I mean London high. Yeah, probably. Because you have relative equal highs here as well. And you still have London Asia highs as well. And eventually if price comes and starts to dig up to the upside, well, then eventually we will take London highs and probably previous day high as well. But I'm not buying it, honestly. I know that we are in a deep discount because we are still below midnight open, and we were below 8:30 open. Not anymore. So we are not in that major discount, but we still are in discount. What I would like to see is some kind of, I don't know, a rejection of this inversion here and displacement to the downside. Disrespecting 8:30 open, disrespecting this inverted fair value gap, and then disrespecting the first presented fair value gap, and eventually going lower. But I don't know. Since we had a big downside move already right before New York session, we might not even have a big move to the downside. We might consolidate here and start to do some kind of ping pong and zigzag. But I don't know. I will let the news play, and after it I will decide what to do. So right now we are 10 minutes away from news. We still have 10 minutes. We are entering a macro hour as well. So far priced at about 13 to 14 handles on ES. I'm not counting these candles because these are just volatility candles that you can't anticipate. So for those who longed here, starting to seems like price is starting to slow down a bit here. On the 15-minute, we will probably leave behind a bullish fair value gap if this candle closes right here. If price closes right inside this hourly fair value gap, we will probably leave a bullish fair value gap behind, which can be tricky. Because if you want to short something, you will have to have that in mind, that you will be shorting inside of a bullish fair value gap. The same is happening on NQ. The 1 hour will close in 7 minutes as well, so we are still digging higher. So almost 5 minutes away from 10 a.m. news. Price is still digging higher and higher, handle after handle. $17 handles. Just let me check here the opening range gap. yeah, we did about we passed through the 50% of the opening range gap. We are reaching the 70% of the opening range gap. Yeah. We still have some minutes here. 4 minutes before 10 a.m. news. Let me just check in queue what it is doing right now. So seems like NQ is losing some steam here. ES gathering a lot of stops here as well. So everybody who's been long in this, at this point, they are putting their stops right below here. At this point, we are almost closing. Yeah, we still have some handles to run, but we are almost closing the opening range gap. So if we would have to divide this in quarters, let me just do that. Yeah, it's right at the 75%. We are still pushing higher. And we have 1 minute left to 10 a.m. news. Well, as for now, we priced it a great run to the upside. A big run to the upside, almost, I don't know, yeah, 26 handles. That's a lot already. But these are not the type of conditions that I would like to trade, especially when we don't have any type of sell side purge. we are reaching this end dog right now. Let's see if this can give us some kind of resistance, or if we break through it and treat it as support here. And price is still exploding to the upside. Well, at this point, I guess my narrative was not correct. I was expecting something like this. Yeah, purge here, something like this. But yes, didn't give us what I was expecting. So right now I will just watch until I have something to work with. At this point, I would say that these relative equal highs are in play as drawing liquidity right now, and eventually London highs and Asia highs, and as well as previous day high. Yeah, this was a massive run to the upside. We are still running. We are about 30 minutes in, and we are still running to the upside. Price is still running here. Well, for those who took this long here, well, this was a great position here, honestly. Those who longed here, if I would have longed here, I would have probably taken the majority of the position right here at the relative equal highs. I would probably not even leave a runner to these relative equal highs here, because I didn't believe that price could make this run without taking some kind of sell side liquidity down here. We still have FOMC lows from on ES, but on NQ we have taken it already, and I didn't notice it before I made my narrative. So for those who play SMTs, this might be a major SMT, which could be the correct narrative to drive price higher until relative equal highs here. Well, still no trades. I'm just observing. I would said that I wouldn't engage with the market on pre-news. So we just had 10 a.m. news. I'm still watching. Price will eventually retrace. Just let me grab here my projection to see where price is right now. Yeah, we are at the major 2.5 minus 2.5, so we are expecting now a retrace down to somewhere here eventually, just like we did yesterday, I think. Just let me grab the fib here as well. Yeah, we did a run to the upside. We didn't deliver -2 standard deviation, but we managed to retrace until -0.5. And then when we hit the major target, -2.5 standard deviation, we retrace down below to minus 0.5 and eventually to -2 to 0. Right. It seems like price will once these relative equal highs eventually in one take. And if so, I will just be an observer today and not engage with it, since it didn't give me any chance. I was saying that I wouldn't engage with the market on pre-news, so we are just 8 minutes after news. Honestly, I'm expecting some kind of retracement right now. The retracement can be as big as 50% of this value of this swing high, which is about -1 standard deviation. But I don't think we will. I don't think we will get it. Honestly, we are so close to those relative equal highs, so close to midnight open, so close to previous day high. It might take us there with a one move. Oh, Gorilla, I didn't notice that you said something more here. Well, I honestly don't do calls, but who knows? But who knows? You're just watching it to rally. Yeah, me too. I was not expecting this type of move directly to relative equal highs. I did note it. These points here, but I was expecting some kind of a low push before we took this move to buy side liquidity. Honestly, maybe the thing that I did wrong here was to not consider FOMC lows taken on Nasdaq. ES didn't take it. They are still intact. but Nasdaq took them, and it might be considered a SMT. But honestly, I don't work with SMTs. I usually tend to not bother with it. Yeah, price did a really good run here. 40 annual move. When price was here, I was expecting some kind of displacement to the downside as we were approaching 10 a.m. as well. It didn't happen. And this might be our time distortion box here. All this price action here. Everything inside this this box might be our time distortion, which lead us to the opposite draw here, which is buy side liquidity. So let me just have you taken any trades yet? Well, not much to do right now, honestly. Our narrative wasn't correct with the market behavior. It had no confluence with what the market is doing. So chasing this could lead to some stop losses getting hit, because where should you put your stop loss, right? You have a lot of PD arrays here which are still intact. We are at minus 2.5 standard deviation, which usually is the major target of any move. We can stretch it to -4, which has some confluence here. It is in between previous day high and relative equal highs. But honestly, I'm expecting some kind of a retrace here, probably to -1 standard deviation, or eventually -1.5. We will see. This NDoc can eventually work as support as well here, but usually price tends to retrace lower unless we leave all these PD arrays on the 15-minute. We leave these PD arrays in blank, and they will be left wide open, and we just cleared relative equal highs. There we go. Price is still the higher here. Well, honestly, it is a boring morning. I'm still watching. I said that I would not engage with the market on pre-news, pre-10 a.m. news, and honestly, I didn't have any opportunity to enter the market. My bias was not in confluence with this run as well. I was expecting a run to the downside, taking FOMC lows and these relative equal lows as well, and probably previous day low. But honestly, it didn't give me any chance to interact with it. So I'm still watching. All these bullish PD arrays are now being respected. So we have one here, a big one here, which is it's interesting because it has some confluence with this end dog. We have this one here as well. And we have a bunch of them here as well, all being respected. So at this point, as we are approaching 1050 macro, which is our silver bullet hour, if price comes to our draw before 1050, I think I have nothing more to do here. But if we retrace down below until 1050, we might get the run to our draw between 1050 and 1110. But for that to happen, we would like to see some of these PD arrays, these bullish ones, the order block that we have here, and the fair value gap here, being disrespected. Because if we still if we're still going to the upside, just like we are doing since 9:30, we will hit probably these relative equal highs before the 1050 macro hour. Yeah, I guess we will see relative equal highs at least in the next couple of minutes. Yeah, Gorilla, I didn't take any trades too, so I was not expecting this move. It kind of surprised me today. And since I don't chase anything, I will just observe and see where price is going to. It didn't even give us the retrace that we would like to see here. Price is just running. We hit minus 2.5 standard deviation here, and at this point I was expecting some kind of of a retrace, but it didn't happen, as you can see. And we will hit relative equal highs and probably previous day high as well without any retrace. Well, for those watching, just hit the like button. It helps a lot with the engagement and with the suggestions that appears to people on their feed. So if you're liking this, it's kind of a chill stream. And I might say that today is a boring one, but honestly, that's the type of move that we have today. I can do nothing about it. I was not expecting this, honestly. So that's why I'm just observing and doing nothing, because I don't chase price. Oh, thank you, Gorilla. Thank you for the like. Yeah, sometimes you just have to deal with your emotions and see price run without you. It's, you know, I mean, you have to see this as a discipline train. You are training your discipline, you are training your emotions to not get enticed by moves like this, because one day you will just catch a move like this. It's just a matter of time. If you are here every day, and if you don't skip the work, you will find a move like this. There's be the day then that you will just hit the button and price will run into your targets with haste and with strength and with, just like it's doing right now. It is boring for us because we were not expecting like something like this, honestly. So there will be a day where you just hit the buy or sell button at 9:30 and price will run into your direction and you will just observe. But try to see this as some kind of entrainment. You are training your emotions, you are training your discipline, you are training yourself not to chase anything, even though you know that price will go here. And I was saying it for quite a while now. As soon as we broke this, I started to realize, okay, we will run, we will continue running to these relative equal highs and eventually buy side liquidity in form of previous day high. But I decided not to engage with it because honestly, where's your entry here? You know, it could be here, but it could be eventually here. But at this point, you were expecting some kind of retracement, and the market didn't give it to you. So there's nothing we can do about it. Let me just check here. forex factory because I saw that Trump might be speaking. Yeah, President Trump speaks in 10 minutes. I don't know what he will say and what's the what will we talk about, but we will see. We have 10 minutes. He will speak in 10 minutes. Honestly, don't know what he will talk about because we had FOMC yesterday. I don't know if he will do some comments about FOMC or not. So we took London highs, and let me just see here. Okay, and we formed some relative equal highs with Asia highs as well. We still have previous day high to take, and price stopped right below the -4 standard deviation. Let's see if we still respect these PD arrays here, these fair value gaps. So right now, midnight open was touched as well. These relative equal highs as well. These relative equal highs were London high, but we still have Asia high. We stopped right. Well, we stopped right below it. We still have them as well. Well, I haven't seen a run like this in a while since we opened. We opened about 1 hour ago, and we had just one direction, a long direction, not giving us any chance to interact with it. Haven't seen this in a quite long time, right? Yeah, right now we are approaching 1050 macro. So I'm quite curious about what 1050 macro will offer us. It might offer us the last push to the upside, taking previous day high. But honestly, ES is just pushing higher here. The displacement once again. Curious job that ES has done today, honestly. Well, at least I respected my words and didn't feel any urge to interact with the market. It was a shame that I wasn't on the right side of the market. Honestly, I was expecting FOMC lows to be taken, but I think I made a mistake not taking into account that these FOMC lows were taken on Nasdaq. Yeah, and I think this was my biggest mistake here, because if those lows were taken on Nasdaq, and if we didn't take them on ES, we have an SMT, and an SMT usually gets us a run on the opposite direction. So that's what happened, probably. I didn't take into account what NQ did to those lows, and that's why I wasn't at the right side of the market. But I'm content with it anyways, because I didn't lose any money, right? I could have lost a lot. I could have entered here some kind of position because I was expecting lows. I knew that price would have come here, but after it, I was not expecting this move after hitting these relative equal highs. This I was not expecting. But it is what it is. The main point here is that we stay disciplined and we didn't lose any money. That's the most important thing. As of right now, well, there's nothing that we can do, honestly. I don't think we have anything to work with, because this is just a run and I need some structure here to be able to gather some information about what price wants to do, because honestly it can, and eventually it will, it can run to the upside, or it can start to retrace. Right now it's kind of 50-50 right now. I'm more inclined that price will continue its run to the upside. But we have to take into account that we might go to the downside to gather some more liquidity before doing it. There we go, price is still pushing higher. We're still pushing higher here, so nothing to do. Kind of a boring NY session, NYAM session. But sometimes the market is what it is, you know. Sometimes we don't have the read of the market as we should have, just like today, and it is what it is. The most important thing is that we didn't lose any money. There we go, pushing higher here. I'm sorry. Bless you. Yeah, right now the only thing that I can see here, because we are 4 minutes before 10:50, is something like this, that your stops would be very tight here. And I'm considering this because we have another block here, but that's not the type of movement that I would like to explore. And the risk to reward is crappy as well. Not even a 2.2R. I will just let this be here and see if this gets filled here. But it's not a position here, it's just a schematic. It's just a draw here. Yeah, it's not even showing some kind of intention to retrace down here. Yeah, for those watching, this is just the schematics. I will not engage with this since we are deep in a premium and I don't want to take the risk here, because we might see some deeper retracements here. We are approaching minus, we touched already -4 standard deviation. So this move can be classified as done and the retrace could begin. So this is just a schematics of how you could profit in a quick scalp if price maintains it's willing to go to previous day high. Well, if we would play this, we would already be tagged in. And for now, I would like to see this order block hold the price. Nice reaction from the order block so far. For those watching, this is not a position. This is just a schematic about just an idea about how we could profit in this last move before we hit previous day high. I'm not taking this. It's not my cup of tea, taking a long here. But for those who like to scalp and who don't mind taking a 1.8 R, this could be some type of scalp that you could take, because you have this fair value gap here. I didn't noted it, but I can note it here and draw it. You have this tiny one here, and you have the order block as well, which should hold price. You have another fair value gap here as well, so you have 3 PD arrays holding price. See, you have 3 PD arrays holding price, and these PD arrays connect as a big support. Price wants some kind of relative equal highs here as well, which is enticing. The price can still come to the upside. It is just retesting the order block and retesting the fair value gap, the bigger one. Also, far price is working those fair value gaps and the order block as well. We still have previous day high to take. But honestly, this is just a schematic, so I'm not taking this position because I don't like to take anything below 2R. It's a 1.8 R. I don't like to take anything below 2R, and we are at the premium here. We hit -4 standard deviation as well, so we can start some kind of retrace here as well. That's why I'm not taking this position, but it should work. It should work because we still have high side liquidity in form of previous day high to take on ES. Just let me check. NQ, yeah, we still have those to take on NQ as well. Yeah, so far digging lower Let me just check the NQ, what NQ is doing. Seems like NQ is starting to turn around. ES might do the same as well. But as you can see, it's a tricky place to place any type of order. Even if you're trying to take a short here, because we are at the top of the move. We took some relative equal highs as well. Even if you want to short this, it's still tricky. It's still tricky because right now you to short the market, you will need some kind of a major change in state of delivery or some kind of a major market structure shift. And I would look for probably the 5-minute or eventually the 15-minute. Otherwise, you will get caught in some type of retrace, and those retrace in bullish moves like this cannot be that long, cannot last that long, and you will get caught quite fast. So right now, price is still digging into that fair value gap. See, if we had took this this long, I would have been stopped out right now. The logical place to stop with my stop loss should be probably below this fair value gap here, but honestly, that would be a one-to-one. That would not be what I was looking for. So I'm glad it didn't took this long. And this is my alarm saying it's 11 a.m. in New York. So we have two scenarios right now: or we will consolidate, or we will retrace. Because it's 11 a.m. and 11 a.m. usually it's the time in the morning where the boys or the girls who have been making money since 9 o'clock will take their coffee and will probably end their day. So this is the time where I usually step out the market and just let the market do what it has to do. I will be here with you guys some more minutes because I'm kind of curious about what the market wants to do right now before lunch hour. And I will be here for more, I don't know, 30 minutes, 28 minutes, 25 minutes. And then I will leave you guys. But today was kind of boring. Yeah, it was. Didn't take any trades today. My narrative was not correct. It happens. Was expecting lower prices, and I think I made my mistake by not taking into account that NQ took FOMC lows. FOMC lows are still open on ES, but NQ did take them, which could sign as a SMT, and I usually don't look for SMTs, I'm honest. But if I would have looked at SMTs today, I would probably engaged in a in a long, probably here, because I was expecting price to come to these relative equal highs, and I would have been long probably here. But since I was expecting a purge of these relative equal highs and then a move to the downside, I was just letting price do its own thing. And as soon as it came here, I was expecting some kind of displacement to the downside, clear FOMC lows. It didn't happen, and then I just didn't chase price here. I could have chased it, but I decided not to do it because I was punished many times before for chasing price, and honestly, it's not worth it. Sometimes it could be worth it. Today it would be worth it, honestly, but it's a 1 in a million or less. So that's why I don't chase price anymore. Well, for those watching, just hit the like button. It helps us getting some momentum on YouTube, and it helps the community to expand as well. I would like to expand this YouTube channel as well, because it's a good way to commit myself to trading and to stay disciplined and to provide some knowledge as well. So if you're liking the stream, it was a it was some type of a boring stream today, but if you liked anything that I've said, just hit the like button, and it will eventually help the channel to grow and to target some more people and to start appearing on some For You pages. Well, right now it seems like we are starting that expected retrace. For a retrace like this, I would like to see some 15 minutes, some 15-minute PD arrays being hit at least. So we are hitting the first fair value gap, but I think that's not enough. I would like to see something a bit deeper. For me, I would be content with a retrace down to this PD array here, which is almost confluent with 50% of this move. Yeah. And it would be nice if price comes down here quite slowly, quite in some type of a high resistance run to the downside, and then eventually when it comes here, it ends with displacement, inverts some type of fair value gap with another displacement, and then we would eventually go higher and clean previous day high. But as you can see, it will probably take place if something like this happens. It will take place probably in the PM session. We will probably run down during lunch hour, and eventually on PM session we will drive higher to clean buy side liquidity and previous day high. That's what price usually does, you know. It would be something like this. Otherwise, I think that price will move in a sideways manner here, or eventually clear buy side and previous day high right away, and then start to retrace. But it's just a speculating. Honestly, that's what I would like to see. Well, right now, there's nothing that we can do. Price will probably consolidate for some time. There's nothing much we can do right now. Feeling kind of hungry right now. We'll have to eat something because it's 3 o'clock here in Portugal. If there's anyone watching this, where are you from? As I said, I'm from Portugal, from a place called Aveiro, which is a nice city. It's the Portuguese Venice. They call it the Portuguese Venice. It has some channels and we call it ria, but it gives us a nice and touristic place, full of tourists and full of people who wants to ride those boats, which we call them muliceiros. We call them muliceiros. And here in Aveiro we have some traditional dishes as well, some pastry dishes, some pastry recipes like ovos moles, which is a egg-based dessert. It's quite good, but it's a high calorie and a high sugar intake. So I can't mess with those. But tell me, guys, where you from? where you live? The camera just shut off once again. I really have to investigate why my camera is still shutting off when I have the automatic shut off deactivated. I don't know why, honestly. I guess it's some kind of a bug on the Canon EOS utility. some kind of a bug. I don't know why. So tell me, guys, where are you from? Have you visited Portugal? Are you from Portugal? Are you from Europe? Are you from the other side of the Atlantic? From the USA? Are you from the other side of the world? From India or something like that? Just tell me. Because the markets won't give us anything right now, honestly. It is doing what it is doing, and oh, Jan Trendholm. Is it like that? Jan Trendholm? You're from Denmark. Oh, so you're from the north. You are a Scandinavian guy. Almost. Yeah, well, I was born in Germany. And I was my parents were immigrants in Germany, and I came back to Portugal when I was about 7 years old. And I always was curious about the north countries, the countries from the north, like Denmark, Sweden, Norway. But yeah, nice to talk with a Danish guy.